Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about one of my all-time favorite cars, the Mazda Miata. And this 2020 that we have available is a absolute peach. This one only has 574 miles. It's pretty much in near new condition. So if you like the options and color combination, it's a great one to consider. I don't think there's a ton of new ones on the lot, and this is a range-topping Grand Touring model. The Grand Touring is the most luxurious trim level of the Mazda Miata. You have this beautiful leather interior, and I like that contrast stitching. They have that stitching in the doors. This one has navigation, also features Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, rear parking camera, heated seats, automatic climate control, have a auto dimming rearview mirror with universal garage door opener, nice leather wrapped steering wheel. I guess all the safety features became standard on the Miata for 2020, so forward collision warning, forward emergency braking, blind spot, lane departure warning are now standard, so this Miata has that, of course. And then we had a new Key Fob Design for 2020. They made some small minor other updates too. I think they kind of changed the badging a little bit. This has a fantastic 4-cylinder engine pumping out a little over 180 horsepower. Not a heavy vehicle, very quick. And this is a great generation of the Miata. It was redesigned for 2016, and I think they upped the horsepower a little bit since 2016, because I've driven some of the earlier ones and this was really quick off the line. Mazda Miatas weren't always considered the quickest vehicles. Their strong point was the handling and nimbleness, kind of like being an oversized go-kart, but this one definitely has a lot more pickup. Reading a Car and Driver quick review, they got one to do 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds. That's definitely sports car territory, and this is just about as much fun that you'll have driving on public roads without breaking the law or really endangering your life. So you don't need to have a really fast, high horsepower supercar to have fun. Any good driver can have all the fun they ever want on public roads in a car like this. I owned a Miata. I owned an earlier generation. It was my only car. I had it for about 6 months, and we're keeping it real. These are not easy vehicles to live with every day as an only car. Now I'm in, before I was living in an apartment, I couldn't have multiple vehicles. Now I'm in a situation, I have a house, 3-car garage, so I definitely want to own another. I will most likely own another one of these. I don't know what year. Any year is good, but if you want the the best and latest in technology, the most comfortable, obviously the 2020 is the way to go. So if you're in the market for Miata, this is an absolute beauty. Also, the Grand Touring gets a lot of features that come on the Club Sport model, including the limited slip differential, and I think there was one other thing that it got off the Club Sport as well. I think maybe the stiffer suspension. I'd have to double check on that one, but I knew it had received 2 items that were standard on the Club Sport that I don't think was always standard before on the Grand Touring. Beautiful color combination, really is a gorgeous looking vehicle. Where kind of the earlier generations of the Miatas were kind of a little bit more cartoonish looking. This has a more serious look to it. It really looks good and very fun to drive. Decent amount of trunk space, and Miata is a great alternative over a motorcycle. I rode motorcycles for over 10 years, thousands and thousands of miles now of a wife and a couple of kids. As much as I love motorcycles, it's just not a reality for me. But I can tell you, if you've never driven a Miata, and maybe you used to ride motorcycles and you want to have a really fun open air experience, obviously you can't duplicate riding a motorcycle of a car. But as far as an open air driving experience and on the road fun, the Miata for me is probably one of the closest vehicles that gives me that thrill of a motorcycle. And I've been in the car business for over 20 years. I get to drive lots of fancy cars, fast cars, Z06 Corvettes, M2s, M3s, M4s, M6s. But just the way you feel connected with the Miata, it's so small. It's almost like you feel like you're wearing it. It's just so light and nimble. You feel like you have a lot of control over it. With some of those higher horsepower vehicles, they can get kind of scary. They can get away from you really quickly. They can turn around and bite you. You don't always feel confident you know what they're doing, but this is a car that makes you feel confident. You feel like you know exactly what it's doing. You can run over a quarter on the road and you can almost feel like you could feel it in the steering wheel. It's like, that's how good the road feel is in this car. And I love the fact that it has the manual transmission. As my job, one of my jobs as a used car manager is to acquire the nicest cars they can find. And I'm a little bit snobby when it comes to Miatas, and the Fiat 128, which is one of its platform mates, is I won't buy these with automatic transmissions. We'll take them in on trade, but generally people who buy these enthusiasts, they want these with manual transmissions. And let's talk a little bit about the low mileage. So a little bit of history about this Miata, how I acquired it, why the miles are so low. It was originally sold in Ron Token Acura in Portland, Oregon. And then it was traded in at a dealership in Milwaukee, Oregon. So it's about, if you're not from around here, we're in the Seattle-Tacoma area of Washington. So that's a couple hundred miles south of us, Milwaukee, Oregon. And I have a saying, one person's old age unit is another person's treasure. It's a different market out there. I don't know what type of business the dealership is doing, but it aged on them, they couldn't sell it. Obviously there's nothing wrong with it. We check it out and all that stuff, and through the clearinghouse I bought it for, these cars are guaranteed. So if I got this car and I didn't like it, it wasn't up to snuff, I could return it with no problem. So that's how we acquired it. It was an aged unit, probably traded in at the store. And I can tell you, people who buy cars like this, just like me, I love my Miata, but I only kept it 6 months, not because it was a bad car, just because it wasn't practical. But whoever bought this car, maybe they couldn't afford it, wasn't practical, wasn't working for their lifestyle, they traded in for something else, and then it aged on another car's lot. I saw this for sale, negotiated, I got it at a reasonable price, and now it's available for sale for us. We do a pretty good job marketing vehicles like this. We sell lots of Miatas. I buy them pretty frequently, sell them all over the country, and hence me doing this walk around video. Not all car dealerships do things like this to market their vehicles, but you know, we go the extra mile here at Infiniti of Tacoma. So don't have any concerns, oh, why is the mileage so low, is it some shady stuff? No, this thing is, like I said, it's pretty close to new condition. So don't have any reservations about it. This thing doesn't have I don't think it has really one mark on it. Oh, lost my train of thought here. So the next thing I want to show you is one great thing about the Miata. It has a small top. It doesn't have to be power operated. I can tell you, if you have one of those power operated convertible tops, as convenient as they are, eventually something will break, and they're always complicated and expensive to fix. This is so small and light. You just need your own arm to put it down. Oh, there we go. So I have long arms. Not everyone can do it, but I can put this top down without having to get out of it. And the one nice thing about Miatas is that they're fun. I always used to drive mine with the top down. I'd have a winter coat on, my winter hat on, and be driving around in 45, 50 degree weather. You have heated seats, great climate control system, wonderful open air driving experience, and the top is easy to release as well. You have to have this handle here, and then there you go. And not everyone can do it because my arms are long, but I can actually put the top up and latch it down without having to get out of the car. So I'm gonna put it back down because I'm gonna take it for a little spin with the top down, because I love these things, and maybe you do too. We have complimentary shipping up to 250 miles. We'll put it on our car haul. I get it sent to you. All the paperwork can be pre-printed. Contact us for more details. If you're a little bit further away, we ship cars all over the country. We do it on a weekly basis. We can get this shipped just about anywhere. Call us for a shipping quote and we'll give you some more details. If you want to reward yourself with one of the most fun cars to drive on the road, it's right here. Give us a call. We can make it work for you. Thanks so much for watching this video, and have a wonderful day.